what if I told you that one of the most powerful tools in all of modern medicine isn't some high-tech, futuristic invention, but this tiny 75 milligram pill? This is low-dose aspirin, and it's not for your headache. Think of it more like a bodyguard for your heart. So how on earth does something so small do such a monumental job? Well, let's break it down.
Okay, so it all starts with a threat that's literally running through our veins. You see, unwanted blood clots can form inside our arteries, and that can lead to these devastating blockages. These are the culprits behind so many heart attacks and strokes, a massive, massive global health problem.
And right here, this is our hero, low-dose aspirin. It's a simple, century-old medication that acts as a surprisingly powerful protector against this internal threat. So in this explainer, we're going to uncover the science of how it works, we'll get really clear on who actually needs it, and we'll cover all the essential facts you need to know to use it safely.
We're going to walk through 5 key areas. First, we'll talk about what this tiny pill's big job really is. Then, we'll dive into the pretty clever science of how it stops clots in their tracks. From there, we'll pinpoint who benefits the most before getting real about the serious risks involved. And we'll wrap it all up with the practical rules for safety and interaction. All right, first up, let's get one thing straight. This low-dose aspirin has a very, very different mission from the one you'd normally take for a headache.
So forget everything you know about aspirin for pain relief. Seriously, at this tiny 75 milligram dose, it's not really a painkiller at all. Its real purpose is what doctors call antiplatelet therapy, which is just a fancy way of saying its entire mission is to stop your blood platelets from getting too sticky and forming dangerous clots. So how in the world does such a tiny dose pull this off? Well, the science is actually surprisingly elegant. It all comes down to hijacking one very specific process in your body.
The genius of aspirin is really in how it hijacks a natural process. So think of your platelets as your body's little emergency responders. When there's an injury, they rush to the scene and they get sticky to form a clot, which is a good thing. But sometimes they can get a little overzealous. Aspirin steps in and it permanently blocks an enzyme called COX-1. This basically shuts down the production of something called thromboxane A2, which is the chemical messenger that's screaming, "Get sticky, get sticky." With that signal silenced, the platelets are way less likely to form a dangerous, unwanted clot.
Now, here's the kicker, the part that makes this so effective. Aspirin's effect is irreversible. Once it interacts with a platelet, that cell is basically retired from the clot-forming business for its entire 7 to 10-day lifespan. It's a one-and-done deal. And that's why a small, daily dose works so well. Every day, it's just neutralizing the new batch of platelets entering your system.
And the way it's delivered is also incredibly clever. When you swallow that tiny tablet, it gets absorbed and immediately enters what's called the portal vein. It's like a direct highway to your liver. Aspirin gets to work on the platelets inside this highway before the liver even has a chance to break it down. It's this first-pass ambush that explains why such a tiny dose has such a huge impact exactly where it's needed, with fewer side effects bouncing around the rest of your body. Okay, so we know how it works, but the million-dollar question is, who is it actually for? And this is where we have to be super clear about the difference between trying to prevent a first heart attack versus preventing a second one.
For what doctors call secondary prevention, that is, preventing another event in someone who has already had a heart attack or a stroke, low-dose aspirin is an absolute cornerstone of therapy. I mean, the evidence is just overwhelming that it dramatically reduces the risk of a repeat event, of vascular death, and of complications after things like getting a stent or having bypass surgery.
But, and this is a big but, what about preventing a first heart attack or stroke? This is where things get a lot more complex. For a very select group of high-risk people, or in specific situations, like preventing preeclampsia during pregnancy, a doctor might decide that the benefits outweigh the risks. But the bottom line here is crystal clear. This is never a medication you should just decide to start on your own. It absolutely requires a professional medical decision.
And that brings us right to the risks. Because, let's be honest, any drug that's powerful enough to stop clots from forming is also powerful enough to cause some other problems. There's always a flip side. So it's really important to separate the common side effects from the serious ones. On the common side, you might get some stomach irritation, maybe some indigestion or nausea. These are often manageable. But the serious risks, well, that's why this drug needs a prescription and monitoring. The biggest concern is bleeding in the stomach or intestines, and in very rare cases, it can contribute to what's called a hemorrhagic or bleeding stroke.
And for some people, the risk is just way too high. Aspirin is an absolute no-go if you have an active stomach ulcer, a bleeding disorder, or a known allergy to it. And this is so important. It should never be given to children or teenagers because of the risk of Ray's syndrome, which is a rare but potentially fatal condition.
Finally, let's cover the practical, day-to-day rules for taking low-dose aspirin safely, especially if it's for the long term.
So using it safely really just comes down to following a few key rules. Doctors are always extra cautious with elderly patients where the bleeding risk is just naturally higher. If you have any kind of planned surgery, you'll almost certainly be told to stop taking it about a week beforehand. A really simple tip is to always take your tablet with food to help protect your stomach. And of course, because this is often a lifelong therapy, regular check-ins with your doctor are absolutely essential.
It's also so crucial to know what not to mix it with. Taking it with other blood thinners or even common painkillers like ibuprofen can seriously ramp up your bleeding risk. Not only that, but ibuprofen can sometimes make the aspirin less effective. The same goes for corticosteroids and alcohol. Both can irritate the stomach lining, making a dangerous bleed much more likely.
So let's boil all of this down to the 4 things you absolutely need to remember. 1. At 75 milligrams, aspirin is an anti-clotting drug, not a painkiller. 2. Its effect is powerful. It's permanent on the platelet, and it lasts for over a week. 3. It is a proven lifesaver for anyone who's already had a heart attack or stroke. And 4, and this is the most important one, because of the risks, it is a decision that must be made with a doctor. Period.
You know, aspirin is just this perfect example of an old, everyday drug that we repurposed into a total game changer for modern medicine. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What common medication that's sitting on a pharmacy shelf right now might hold the key to transforming our health tomorrow?